This episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hey guys, I'm Kev.
Yo, this is Del.
I am TB.
And Zainal here.
And we are
The Wayang Crew. Oh yeah.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast.
Hey!
That's right, it's of course your weekly movie podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. I'm your host as usual, Kev, speaking into this mic. And up next is my co-host, it's Del.
Hello.
What's up, Del?
I have just found out that I lost 3 kilos.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
No.
It's mostly water weight or...
No, I think it's stress.
Is this in anticipation of what we're going to be talking about today, which is the Justice League?
How is that related?
I don't know, you're stressing out, hoping it's good.
I wish
No.
I could lose 3
No, it's
kilograms.
not. It's not worth it to lose 3 kilograms over this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Why would it be?
Yeah.
I think it shows. I'm shrinking and I need to get it back.
Pants are looser?
Pants are new.
All
So
right.
that's how he found out he lost weight. Like, one
He lost
size
so much
shorter.
weight. He had to buy new pants. Up next is my other co-host. It's Tibby.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
I gained weight. I don't know. Nothing much. Normal as usual.
Normal as usual.
Yeah.
Do I dare ask about the car?
No, don't ask it. Maybe next time.
Next
Next
time.
week it'll be better.
All right. That's what you said last week.
We'll see.
All right. On this episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast, we're talking about Justice League. We went and watched that, and we were there for the first ever showing in Brunei. Thanks to Times Cineplex for that.
Yep.
But first, let's get to the weekly segment, which is the news, and not much news this week because, well, it's a Wednesday. It's a little bit early, so most of the news has not come out yet. We're going to kick it off with this, which is Bumblebee, the movie. The Transformers spin-off has an official logo, and it goes a little retro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have not seen this.
Oh, really?
'Cause it's based
just
in
came
the
out.
1960s, right?
No, 1980s.
80s.
Okay.
80s. Like the cartoons.
We've talked about it on the podcast. I'm a big fan of the first movie, and then we all agree that progressively as it went along from
went
2,
worse.
3, 4, and 5, it got worse and worse. I think there's hope for this movie.
That's what we said for the last Transformer.
Yes, I really do hope that with a new director,
Yep.
this will definitely have a change of tone, and then it will be better, and then it will bring our faiths back to this franchise.
Yeah. Over the last 10 years, we've become so familiar to seeing Bumblebee as a Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah.
Apparently, in this spin-off movie, he will return to his 1980s Volkswagen Beetle
Yes.
form, just like in the cartoon, guys.
Yeah, but did you know? I don't know if you remember. I don't know which movie it was. He actually reverted back to the Volkswagen for a little while in one of the movies.
Transformers?
Yeah.
No, he
The
didn't.
second one, I
He
think.
he
I might.
did a switcheroo and then went back to the Camaro.
I don't
I
remember
don't
that.
think
I
it
think
was
there's
a
one-
Volkswagen though.
I think it was in a different country. Not a Volkswagen.
I don't think it was a. I might
Okay,
be wrong.
I might be wrong then.
All right, if you'd like to fact check us on
Yeah,
the show, you can do
feel
so
free
and get
to.
in touch with us. We'll give you the details later on in the show. Moving on to the next bit of news, we haven't heard very much about this Han Solo movie, Solo. I mean, we have been talking about it on the show for the last couple of months about how directors have changed and Ron Howard has had to change reshoot most of the movie. We haven't actually seen any of the characters' photos or behind the scenes photos of any of the actors. We may have had our first look at the lead character who plays Han Solo, Alden Ehrenreich. Ehrenreich in character. Now, this was unknowingly leaked by a Arizona theater chain, and they had these special cups printed out with Chewbacca on it and some gnomes and Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of just to use in-house, to give out to their patrons. And there is I would like to say a oil painting look-alike photo of the actor playing Han Solo. So he kind of looks like Han Solo.
Yeah, I saw this as well.
Yep.
And he does have that image, that shadow of Harrison Ford.
A little bit.
The way that he smiled.
And the way that he sort of stands and poses.
Yeah.
How does young Chewbacca look like?
He will still look the same.
Oh, okay.
Because like from Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens,
he
Chewbacca still looks the same. He looks even younger.
I mean, I think what TB meant was like as a kid.
As a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, see, from Return of the Jedi, he looks that way. And then Force Awakens, he looks younger. So we can assume that he has the Benjamin Button effect. So he's going to start off like really, really old when he was younger.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be grey.
So it's in reverse.
Yes.
He's gonna use like a walking stick
Yeah.
with his crossbow.
And his hair is longer than ever.
No, his walking stick is the crossbow.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, we have more Star Wars news, and we have a new poster for The Last Jedi, which is coming out in December in Brunei here on the 13th of December. And it's a poster for the IMAX screening of it. It looks great because Rey is all in red. She's shrouded in a red cape. And all the characters are there. BB-8, R2-D2, C-3PO, Chewbacca, who we just spoke about. Have you seen the poster?
How come I haven't seen this?
Whoa.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Did it just come out? Like today?
Just came out today.
Oh, Kev is showing me from his laptop right now.
Yeah.
It looks
amazing.
From this distance, I can't really say amazing. It looks alright. It looks like one of those the posters that I've put out so far. It looks like in the same theme. So I guess that's a good thing. Consistency is what I like.
Okay. Now we know you're excited about this, Del. TB?
I mean, I like Star Wars.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I am excited. I'm not because I don't. If I say I love Star Wars, Del might say, "No, you don't." I love Star Wars. You like?
You like.
I think if you tried like right now, I think Del would give you a pass because it's late. We just walked out of the Justice League screening, so
Yeah.
Up next, Mad Max's George Miller is taking Warner Brothers to court. Now, this is apparently because he claims that the studio owes his production company an unpaid $7 million.
Yes, I've read this or I've heard of this as well, and I have deduced that it is because no need to be pointing your finger in the air. I have deduced Warner Brothers is using Red Pack for some of their production funding, I think.
Yep.
And it wasn't made clear to Josh Miller. Wait, is it Josh Miller his name?
Yeah,
Josh Miller,
Josh
right?
Miller.
Josh Miller that this is happening. So I think Warner Brothers paying Red Pack and that there is a $7 million that it has not gone to Josh Miller because it has already gone to Red Pack. I think that is what has happened. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But because Miller didn't know that they have another deal between them, so he is trying to get back that $7 million, which has already gone to Red Pack.
But you would think that a movie as big as this, which was 30 years, 25 years in the making, would have had all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted. And
Somebody dropped the ball, so I don't know what happened, but just pay the guy. The guy helped you to make so much money and brought back a property which is so old.
Yeah.
Like 2049 is Blade Runner 2049 has struggled.
Yeah.
And they've made losses, but this guy has given you profit, $100 million, I think.
Successfully.
Yeah.
And also introduced the franchise to a new generation.
Correct. And they can make even more movies after this if they so choose to.
So just pay the guy?
Pay the guy. It's $7 million. I read $7 million. So if it is $7 million, pay the guy.
I mean, this is like chump change in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why are they suing over this
All
little
right.
money?
Coming up next, DCEU news. Wonder Woman 2, the sequel to this year's biggest superhero movie so far, Wonder Woman, is now slated to land earlier in 2019. Now, Disney has already announced that the last movie in this current trilogy of Star Wars will be released on the 20th of December 2019. And initially, Wonder Woman 2 had a release of December 13th, 2019. They've moved that up by about a month to November 1st, 2019. This is obviously just to get out of the way of the Star Wars cloud.
Yeah.
I am actually looking forward to watching Gal Gadot once again as Wonder Woman.
You mean just now wasn't enough?
Well, you can't get enough. You got to see more of where the character takes you.
Right.
Timmy, what do you think about this news?
I think it's a good move because I mean, compared to Star Wars and Wonder Woman, I'd rather watch Star Wars.
Okay.
So I mean, if they have the different release date, I can watch Wonder Woman first and then Star Wars. So
Okay.
good move for them.
It's no surprise that they move, even though they are 1 week apart. But the second week will be dominated by Star Wars, so they will lose out a lot of the second week's audience. Moving up a month, I think that gives them enough cushion to earn the money back. Yeah,
Unless Star Wars moves in.
no, Star Wars
Moves it early as well.
But this, I think everyone expected Wonder Woman to move because once Star Wars established themselves as that date,
Yep.
no one should come close to it.
That's sort of like determined it, like this is our month kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's all everyone's going to be talking about in December
And
2019.
I'm glad that they moved it back to December rather than the summer for the Star Wars episodic movies, because even though the first trilogy came out in the summer and as well as the prequels, but these movies, we are so accustomed now that it's in December, Christmas period, and it's the holiday season for everyone.
My birthday.
And Timmy's birthday.
So
Yeah.
looking forward for that.
I like December.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do realize that this is 2 years away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward.
Any Star Wars news is good news.
That
Any
is
Star
true.
Wars
Yeah.
Any Star Wars movies releasing is good releasing.
All right. Aquaman director James Wan, has reviewed Justice League.
He reviewed Justice
He
League.
sort of gave some thoughts about it, and he says that it is a terrific, fun movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
What
Sure, James Wan.
else?
What else are you gonna say?
Yes.
What else can you say?
Up until now, we haven't heard much about Aquaman, the solo
which is a good
movie,
thing.
Which is a good thing. What do you expect from Aquaman, having seen Justice League?
Everything good, especially when it's James Wan directing, because his all his Conjuring, his Saw, his what else did he do? Oh, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, he did Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the franchises which I do not care for, but he made me care for it for that particular movie.
All right.
So yeah, I'm quite excited to see Aquaman.
I feel like it's going to be like Wonder Woman when I first saw it because I didn't have any expectation.
Yeah.
And then turns out to be good, and I hope it's going to be the same like that.
Like even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last bit of news on this episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast. Now, we just saw Justice League, and the producers suggest that Joss Whedon shot about 15 to 20% of the film. And that's kind of apparent.
Nah, I think it's more. I
More?
think it's more than 20%.
You believe that it's more?
Yes. For what he has done with the characters, I think it should be at least 30%, 40%. But they don't want to disclose that too much.
Yeah, they still want to give credit to Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
who initially directed Justice League.
Yeah. I mean that mustache issue, right? There has to be a lot more than just 15-20%.
The only one would actually know is Zack Snyder. It's like, 20%, that looks a lot like 50%.
yeah. It could be even 50%. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, who shot this movie? Anyway, we'll be talking about Justice League a little bit later on in the show. And just a reminder to our listeners, last week on the last episode, we had a little contest for our listeners to leave a comment on who is their favorite DCEU character and why. And we have one winner.
Yeah.
Who goes by the name of NK9698. Now, he says his favorite DC superhero is Nightwing. It's because if you look at everything in Batman's career and his life, what is Batman's greatest success? You can't say beating all crime because he'll never do that. He goes on to say that it's essentially raising Dick Grayson to be Nightwing. Well,
Yep.
Robin / Nightwing. I kind of have to agree. Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with Nightwing, so reading this is kind of refreshing. And it's well written. It's kind of in depth as well. Just a short paragraph about who this character is and how it's related to Batman. So yeah, thank you for writing in to us.
Thank you, and congratulations from the Wayang Crew. You will be receiving some exclusive goodies which have been sponsored by our sponsor, Times Cineplex. We'll be getting in contact with you via Instagram, so do direct message us, or we'll direct message you. So congratulations once again to NK9698. Congratulations. Now, if you would like to get in touch with us here on the Wayang Crew Podcast, you can do so via our Gmail account, which is thewayangcrew@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter, so do check us out on our social media platforms as well. Now we're gonna move it on to the next bit of the show, which is our review of Justice League. So we're gonna talk non-spoilers and then spoilers first. We just watched Justice League, and I think it was okay.
It was a movie. It's alright. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I agree.
If I were to sum up in one word, I would have to use the word awkward.
Awkward. Why awkward?
It felt very disjointed. You can tell this is not a movie that is directed by one director. You can tell that this is something. It just doesn't flow right.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this movie and this universe, the DCEU, which we've come to know, was actually helmed initially by Zack Snyder, and he was directing Justice League, which is the ensemble movie that we just saw of the DC heroes. But unfortunately, he had to step away from the project after completing it maybe 60, maybe 70% of the movie. He had to step back due to family reasons, and Joss Whedon of Marvel fame jumped in to save the movie. And I think that was a good move, because overall it's a bit more cohesive, a bit more coherent than the other movies that we've talked about in the previous episode of the DCEU. But first, let's talk about the overall story for Justice League. The world is a bleak place now because Superman is no more. Wonder Woman is still jumping in when she can to save high stakes crime if and when she can do it. And then Bruce Wayne is convinced, and he knows that there's an attack coming, because as Batman, he picks up all these clues of these flying demon creature things that are sort of scouting the earth. Dark Seed. The Dark Seed.
Dark Side. It's pronounced Dark Side, and the demon is parademon, they call it.
Okay, and they can smell fear.
Yeah, dogs. And
they devour anyone who emits enough fear, because they feed off it apparently. And so non-spoilers.
Let's try.
Okay. Non-spoilers for this movie. I think that this was a very, very good attempt by Warner Brothers to sort of improve and bring a lot of much needed change to the DCEU.
Okay.
Everything is overall lighter. The tone is totally different from Batman vs Superman, which was the last movie that Zack Snyder sort of did. And I mean, this movie works. It's not bad in, as in don't go and watch it. This is still go and watch it. It is enjoyable. You will laugh. You will, feel for the characters. Whether or not it's on par with Marvel, we're not even going to talk about that, because Del, what do you have to say?
Okay, CGI, it's not there. It's not up to par. It's slightly better than, say, maybe X-Men. No, sorry, it's slightly worse than X-Men Apocalypse.
Slightly worse.
So it's way far away from the kind of standards that this big budget movie should be. But then again, the budget may have been cut down for the CGI department, because they had to bring in Joss Whedon to come and do reshoots.
Okay.
So I think that throughout the whole movie, whenever there is a battle scene in Themyscira in Russia, was it?
Russia. Somewhere in central Russia.
Yeah, the background is just, I don't know. It's kind of like Wonder Woman, the last battle.
The last battle scene.
Yeah, like at the background is just all red smoke.
which kind of takes you out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TB,
what about you? What do you have to say about this movie before we move on to spoilers?
I think I mentioned before off air that I find the movie doesn't have a high. It's like you just sit through it and then you keep wanting more, but they're not giving it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. They fail to do so.
It's always like half glass full.
Yeah.
Half full glass. Sorry.
Yeah. I think that's how I feel right now.
The final battle, there are so many paradigms, right? If this was I don't want to go back to Marvel, but for comparison's sake, like Age of Ultron or the first Avenger movie, you will see very cool action sequences, the superheroes working together and killing off one by one all these
and then
bad guys.
And then this is the big thing: the superheroes seem to not be winning.
Yes. Yeah. But this one, you see it like here and there a little bit. Some chasing Batman for a little while, Aquaman taking out a few in the sky, and then that's it.
Okay,
nothing exciting.
It's like what you've seen in the trailer. That's it.
You see a lot in the long shots.
Yeah.
And then like when we zoom into like the heroes and what they're up to individually, they battle like 5 and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then
I think they are again saving money from all the reshoot.
Maybe. I also think that the stakes in this movie, Justice League, were not justified enough, which is odd to say for a movie called Justice League.
Yeah.
But the stakes were not just, it wasn't high enough. Like
they did try to make it high.
They did try.
I'll go into that a bit more in the spoilers section. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done with trying to do a non-spoiler review. Before you say something now,
I was gonna bring up mustache.
Which we will talk about.
You want to talk about
in spoilers?
Spoilers. Okay.
All right. So from this point on, this review will be a spoiler review of Justice League. If you don't want to know anything about this movie, or if you have plans on watching it and are sensitive to information with regards to the movie, stop listening right now. We'll time code it at the bottom in the description. Spoilers. right off the bat, spoilers. Del and I were laughing in the cinema. With the beginning shot of this movie is like a cell phone footage of Superman who just saving someone, and it's a bunch of kids with their cell phones, and you see the video that they took, and they're like, Superman, and then he turns around and you see Henry Cavill's face, and oh my god.
It took me a while though. It took me a while.
It's like they didn't even try to hide, to kind of make it look like a proper face.
Yeah.
The face felt like he had some cotton in his mouth and his upper lip wasn't moving.
Yeah. It wasn't moving at all, and it was so stiff, and it was not natural at all. It was just, oh my, it was so cringy.
People are gonna go to this movie just to see the mustache.
They should. I mean, we've talked about this on this morning, and I mean that in itself is worth to see.
Yep. But then, did you notice anyone else cringing, laughing at it?
No, it was just us.
Because I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah. To the normal and not normal, like casual moviegoers,
the general public. They're probably not going to notice.
Yeah, maybe they'll see something funny, but then they wouldn't know why.
They cover it up by using a video recording.
Yeah.
They tried to put a filter on it.
But then the next shot was in the field.
Yeah.
Right? This is when they've resurrected Superman, and he brought Lois back to the field, his farm, and then they had some interaction there. I think the whole thing might be Joss Whedon's work.
Yeah.
Because it's all funny lip.
Bright.
Yeah. It was bright. Everything was bright, and there was a lot of emotion and love and heart in it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about this because this has been a subject that Del has been sort of, wondering why Warner Brothers have not included Superman at all in any of the marketing or the trailers for Justice League. Superman is in this movie. If you don't already know, his mustache had to be digitally removed for other reasons.
Some parts, not all.
Not all.
Most of it, I thought. Most of it, even the final battle.
Yeah. Before we jump into how Superman came back from Batman vs Superman.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the first half of the movie, introducing the characters such as the Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg. I thought that was done okay, as in. This movie is 2 hours long. It's 121 minutes long. And I think that the pacing for the first half was a little bit off, but
slow.
but it got the point across that these are the characters without having to have all of them have their own movie. So we got their character, what they can do, and what they can't do. We also got very quick background stories of each, which I thought was refreshing enough, just for us to sort of get on board with the characters. I did not buy the whole Aquaman thing, which looked okay in the trailer, but then seeing it in the movie, Bruce Wayne going to that town and saying that I'm looking for this guy.
Looks like he didn't try enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay, you don't want, I'm just gonna leave. Go back to my jet. That's how I feel.
We have to talk about Wonder Woman. What
Some
did you think
parts in the trailer wasn't in this movie. The sweeping of the leg and then flipping her hair, it wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why they included it in the...
Marketing, I guess.
Whedon decided not to use it.
Yeah. Something's a little bit off about Gal Gadot.
What?
I don't know. She worked really well in
her
own movie. In her own movie, Wonder
Yep.
Woman.
Yep.
Maybe because it was an origin story, and maybe because it was the fact that she was sort of seeing the human world for the first time, and that was part of a character of being wondrous and like, wow, look, a baby, and things like that. Now it's modern times, and she doesn't fit.
She cannot grow out of the awkward personality.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Doesn't fit. But then if you say, let's say Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Similar story. He doesn't fit into this world, but then he kind of fits into the world.
When he interacts with people, I mean, we believe that he has adapted to the world.
Yeah.
Like Gal Gadot.
She's supposed to adapt.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it.
Doesn't feel okay.
Yeah.
Well, she can use a computer.
Yeah.
And then she starts talking to the computer, which is how they recruited Cyborg.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have a brief rundown of the characters. First off, we see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman doing her thing, stopping crime. We see things that we haven't seen in her own movie, which is her super speed.
The bullet time though was bad CGI. The first bullet,
stopping bullets.
No, the bullet she evaded.
The first one,
the one in the trailer.
It was
okay. And then next up we see Aquaman.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne meeting Aquaman for the first time. Again, we saw a clip that was released a couple of weeks ago by Warner Brothers as a promotional clip, and that was basically the scene.
Yeah.
And then after that, we meet Flash.
Was it Cyborg?
Oh, Cyborg first. Yeah, we meet Cyborg first, whose father works with Star Labs, who are studying the alien ship, Zod's ship from Man of Steel, and then we see it again in Batman vs Superman, and now we see it again in Justice League. So he's part of Star Labs, who are studying the alien tech, and it sort of briefly explained how Cyborg came about. He was supposed to have died
from an explosion.
Him and his mom, apparently. And then the dad uses the alien tech to bring him back to life. He's not really happy about it.
He's still learning how to live normal life.
I heard that he's very different personality-wise from the comics.
Okay.
Yeah. He's supposed to be more positive in the outlook of life, but here he's like a brooding teenager.
Yeah.
Emo.
Yeah, I mean, his father even says it when the first shot that we see his back is like, you should stop brooding in the corner. And he's like, I'm not brooding, I'm processing.
Maybe it's he's trying to accept things throughout the movie.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, he was joking around by the end of the movie.
His character is all about like self-belief, I feel.
Yep.
And then after Cyborg,
Flash.
There's the Flash, who I think is the star of this movie.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, he was the one that you sort of remember the most. Maybe it's just because of Ezra Miller's portrayal of Barry Allen as the Flash. I have to stop this and ask TB. TB, was the Flash flashy enough for you?
Yes. It was very flashy.
I had my doubts seeing the various clips online and the trailers of that, his stance before he does his speed thing. Or,
I still have problem with that. I don't know why he does that.
Yeah, or like the lightning.
He's charging the lightning things.
Either that or he just has to brace himself to get a grip and then go. You know.
But you don't have to raise your hand over your shoulder first. Like, ooh. I don't know.
And then after that, it's just them trying to get everyone on board for this common goal to stop Steppenwolf, the villain of this movie, because he's hellbent on bringing the apocalypse to Earth, turning the Earth into his home planet. using the 3 cubes.
Motherboards.
Motherboards?
Yeah. Mother
cubes?
box.
Motherboard.
Mother boxes that it's very quickly explained to us in the movie that there was this happened before on Earth. And there was a big war where 5,000 years ago, where the Atlanteans and
humans
and the Amazons and the humans came together and fought them.
Yeah, and also the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, we
Who
saw
was the guy with the lightning bolts?
Yeah, he looks like the guy from 300, Leonidas. Yeah.
Is he someone from the comic?
I'm not sure. We're going to have to check this.
Not sure. It might be just Zack Snyder putting in Leonidas.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
So we have 5,000 years have gone since then, and the Atlanteans still have one of the boxes. The Amazonians also have one of the boxes, and the humans apparently also have one of the boxes.
Which raises a very big red flag, right? Something so powerful you would want to split them up.
Yeah.
Into like different planets, maybe.
Yeah,
you have the Green Lantern
Corps.
Right, so give them one.
Yeah.
Why give to the humans?
Why is it all on Earth?
Yeah, all on Earth. One is in the it's one at Atlantis, some hidden somewhere in the ocean.
The other one
one's on Themyscira,
buried random place.
Yeah,
I think it's like, if someone has like a cat that gives birth, so you sort of like here you go, you want it? I don't want it at my house, so just keep it there. And then you see Batman, and this movie, Justice League, does show Bruce Wayne / Batman as an aging character.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, I mean, put alongside people with superhuman strength like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and the Flash who have abilities, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
And it shows it, and he gets now we're gonna move on to the biggest part of this movie, which is the return of Superman, which I sort of had rather bad. I had a problem with, because at the end of Batman vs Superman, the final shot of that film is a shot inside the coffin where they're burying where they have the funeral procession for Superman, and something seems to be happening.
Yeah.
But in this movie,
He's dead.
apparently nothing happened.
They retcon it.
Yeah.
And just ignored it. I have the same problem. So you can't introduce something in the last movie and then
sort of just say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe that was a wrong idea.
Yeah.
The wind.
The
wind.
So that's why you cannot go and watch BVS and then immediately watch this one, because that link is just not there.
You're gonna have problems.
Yeah. Especially one of my biggest problem, other than that one, was how Batman said that Superman is a beacon of hope for humans.
Okay.
When he said that, and then immediately I flash back to BVS when he is trying so hard to kill Superman for being an alien with superhuman powers, and then just like that,
like
because
overnight.
of they became best friends over their mother sharing the same first name,
stepbrothers,
and then Superman died immediately on the same day.
Yeah,
nothing was established that made Batman would feel that Superman is the beacon of hope. And when they bring Superman out of the coffin, or Clark Kent, he did not look decomposed at all.
It's Kryptonian.
It's like they buried him 2 days earlier and then just digging him up again.
Well,
maybe he doesn't decompose.
Maybe. But that being said, I'm glad there was no close-up shots of the lifeless Clark Kent like Superman.
Just weird.
We just see a long shot of Aquaman carrying him into the pool that we saw Lex Luthor in on the Kryptonian ship.
Yes.
And then I don't know who figured this out.
Nobody figured this out. Every time this universe, they visit that ship, somebody becomes alive for no apparent reason. Yeah. Nobody figured out how the science behind it works.
Well, and they tried to explain it, to say that Cyborg was doing calculations as Bruce Wayne was telling them the plan, and he said this just might work. But then how does he... Okay.
He has the technology.
Then you argue that he's part of that mother box.
Yeah.
He's from the mother box.
Sure.
So maybe he understands it. I don't know.
The mother box is not Kryptonian.
Yeah.
So that ship is Kryptonian. And why is it in that pool? Why not on a chair? Why do you need electricity?
Because Cyborg is smart.
Okay.
Yes, Cyborg is smart. And then there was all this thing about the ship doesn't have enough charge left in it. We need the charge to activate
What kind
the
of
mother
charge?
box.
It's an alien spaceship. What kind of charge are you referring to?
Yeah.
And how does Flash provide that charge?
How do we know it's electrical? How
Yes.
did you know it's electrical?
Yeah.
For all I know, you need like a lightning bolt. Like you need 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, you need Thor.
You could need Thor. I don't know. Okay, look, trying to find the science behind this is
pointless.
Is pointless. It's futile. We're not going to figure it out. We're just going to take this as face value because we just watched it. And yeah, since this is a spoiler review, that's how Superman comes back to life.
He got CPR in a way.
He got
But he got what they call the shock thing.
The ECG, is it?
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
Yeah.
He
ECG.
defibrillated
Where did I
by
get
No,
ECG?
this is a Kryptonian defibrillator
with the help
plus
of Flash
mother box,
Right.
And Flash,
Yeah.
and then you have Cyborg doing the calculations,
Yep.
and then and then you have Batman who's like, we didn't need him before, but we need him now
Yeah.
because he knows that they can't go up against Steppenwolf. Something I do have to say though is that scene where Superman shows up during the final battle. And he goes like, I can't remember the line, but Steppenwolf says something to the effect of, this world is ending or whatever, or I can't remember what it was.
I'm a believer of truth.
Yeah, and then Superman comes behind him and says, I'm a believer. And then starts bashing him up, and then it's Superman's fight.
Yeah.
Superman is so unbalanced in this that he just wins.
So super strong.
He's so super
like
strong in this.
smiling, like.
But we don't see the fight. The cool fight.
You don't really see the cool fight.
So you don't feel like there's a sense of urgency because Superman is taking it so easy.
Yeah, he's taking it so easy. Like we see about 10 minutes of Wonder Woman and Aquaman trying to sort of restrain Steppenwolf. And then it just takes Superman one punch and he's flying across that room. And it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
We get that you're Superman, but this is
He's
a little bit
overpowered.
I mean, if this was the fight he had with Steppenwolf, then how does this explain the fight that Superman had with the villain from Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah. What's his name? I can't remember.
I can't remember now. The Zod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doomsday.
Doomsday, yes.
That's his name.
Doomsday.
I guess Doomsday is just a lot stronger than Steppenwolf.
I guess it's because Doomsday is also sort of Kryptonian DNA, maybe.
Let's see. When
And Steppenwolf like sees Superman, gets punched, and goes like, "Ugh, Kryptonian." I'm like, whoa.
But when Wonder Woman was fighting Doomsday, it's as tough as fighting Steppenwolf.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
It's so, like you said, it's just unbalanced.
Oh, I know why. Because Superman was sleeping long time already.
He was charging.
He's
charging.
resting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got power bank inside the.
He went to the sun, recharged his power.
Yeah. He didn't go to the sun.
He didn't go to the sun. He had the power of love.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
that's
love.
why.
Power of love in this universe plays a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, power of love.
Yes.
We've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
Power of love.
Yep.
Uh,
Three times. One is with the mother.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Now it's good that you mentioned the mother, Martha.
Yeah.
She did not have to be in this movie.
She did not, but I think I would want to see her and Clark reunite.
Yeah, but they didn't play it out enough.
No, they didn't.
For a mother,
Yes.
as Martha Kent,
Yeah.
to have lost her husband in in Man of Steel, and then having lost her son, adopted son, Clark Kent / Superman, and then he's back from the dead.
Yeah.
And there's no explanation. There's no, oh my God, how is this possible? The only line is it really you? It's like she's gone crazy and she doesn't know whether this is real life or not anymore.
Maybe Batman explained it to her.
No. It wasn't Batman who explained
it was Lois.
Lois Lane called.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
Batman explained to Lois.
Lois
explained to the
it
mother.
Off
Yeah,
scene.
succinctly.
That would have been an awesome phone call to have seen.
I think we would have liked that explanation.
Your son, the one who died, he's alive now.
Yeah.
Don't ask why.
Selfie.
So once again, you can't watch BVS and then watch this one because how do you explain to the world Clark Kent is alive?
Yeah. And we see it towards the end of the movie where there's this speech going on about hope and, good in the world and justice. And everyone just goes back to their daily lives.
Yeah.
And you see the Clark Kent. Well,
he's walking. He wears the clothes of Clark Kent.
And then he's
then
got the
he's-
Superman suit underneath.
Yes, but he's walking the street. So is he back as Clark Kent, or did he change his name to somebody else, put on a different glasses, and then he's somebody else?
No one was seen celebrating that Superman's back alive.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No one. There was a scene where they just brought Superman back to life. And it's as if he went on a rampage. Like, he didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And he was just very aggro, and he wanted to fight
Yep.
Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg.
And Batman shows up, and then he's like, "Oh, I remember you.
Yeah,
Do you bleed?" And then whacked.
and then whacked, and then Lois Lane comes, and then it's
yeah.
all good. And Power of Love once again.
What
Maybe
happened
that's-
to his Kryptonian weapons, Batman?
That's a good question.
Kryptonite.
That is a good
Yeah.
question.
Kryptonite,
The
right.
kryptonite gas canister and this
Yeah.
and
He
that.
had those weapons to begin with.
That is so true. Good catch. Good call.
I thought that was the weapon.
Yeah.
The big guns. I thought that was, he did it before.
So
Okay.
Wonder Woman, you've got Wonder Woman, you got Batman back in action, and then you have people like Flash.
Yeah.
So to fill in the void of Superman, when there's no other like aliens invading and all that, why couldn't Wonder Woman just fill in that hole? Why was there such a loss? And why was the humans like have more crime and
Yeah.
people acting out?
I think it's sort of mentioned in the movie where during that dialogue between Wonder Woman and Bruce Wayne, where Bruce Wayne pokes Wonder Woman and says that, look, you don't get to say anything because you hid for 100 years. You led a normal life. You didn't be a superhero.
Yep.
And then the events of BVS happen where you get called out and then Superman dies. So maybe she went back into that reclusive state where, like, you know what, maybe if I don't do anything, no one else will die kind of thing. Maybe.
But she didn't though. You saw her in the beginning.
Yeah.
She's saving lives.
So
being
then
a superhero.
This is where it's so hard to join the
Maybe
two
she's
movies.
not as strong as Superman. Superman can fly. She just jumps.
There's no other super villains
Yeah.
in this world
Yeah, that's
yet.
true.
So
Okay.
she doesn't have to fight other super villains.
Not yet anyway.
yeah.
We have to talk about Aquaman because I think it's important because that's the next movie in the DCEU that's coming out. Initially, we've always said on this show that having not heard anything about Aquaman is a good thing.
Yep.
It's probably good. Having seen Aquaman in his natural environment, which is under the water, I'm not so sure anymore.
That's the only reason why Aquaman is in the movie, because the box is underwater.
Yeah,
at
one of the
Atlantis.
it's being guarded by the Atlanteans.
But then, if you look at how Wonder Woman has performed and how Wonder Woman is in this movie, it's quite different.
yeah,
She looks better in her own solo movie.
yes,
So Aquaman would hopefully
yeah.
be better as well in his own solo movie because they've got that budget for the underwater scenes already.
Okay.
And James Wan is directing that. So this movie is just like I mentioned this today. Gal Gadot posted a picture on Instagram with all of them on the red carpet, and she said, "Oh, it's nice to have all these guys one last time together." So maybe there's no more Justice League after this.
No more ensemble movie, maybe.
Maybe different characters.
Or different characters coming together.
Yeah.
And this is like a one-off for them. And then Joss Whedon stepping in is one-off. Zack Snyder no longer in this caretaking this franchise.
Maybe. Did you feel that Aquaman was a bit of a surfer dude? Like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. And he speaks that language. Where did Batman find him again?
Alaska, maybe? I don't
somewhere
know.
north, like Alaska. Somewhere it's
Yeah.
like a small town.
And his English is like
American. Yeah.
but he only mixed around with that part of the world, and then he is still American.
Yeah, I mean, having seen the trailers and noticing that his accent was American, I very confidently said on this podcast, just be yourself kind of thing. But now that I've seen it, like in the whole movie, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if that that portrayal of
He has internet.
yeah, because all the fiber optic cables are underwater. That's true. Yeah, I'm not so sure that was like the greatest portrayal of Aquaman because we've never seen a live action Aquaman.
Yeah.
But this is, if I have to put a label on it, this is an Aquaman who's also a surfer dude who lives in California and goes surfing on the weekends. Because
in up north.
Yeah, because he has all the mannerisms. It's like, well, rad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I don't know.
I still like him. I think it's just this movie not that great for Aquaman. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
All right, it seems like we're finding it hard to talk about this movie, Justice League, but it's not bad. I have to really hit it home and say that I had a good time with this movie.
You don't sound convincing.
I enjoyed the bits that were there for us to enjoy, like the humor and the jokes, which you can very clearly see is a last-minute addition by Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
You still see the Zack Snyder DNA in this. You can't get away from that. But this is really a different take on the DCEU. It's something that we didn't expect. I mean, I hoped that it would be different, but then I didn't expect it to be like this halfway in between fully different and the same Zack Snyderverse. It was somewhere in the middle.
It's like someone was doing an assignment with a partner, and then one guy wants to do it this way, one guy to do it the other way.
And then they compromise.
And then you can see the difference in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say about Justice League 2017?
They tried.
They tried.
I'll sum it up.
An improvement from BVS.
Big improvement. This is a more cohesive, a more comprehensive. There was a plot, although a bit thin, but there was a plot to this movie which the general audience will identify with, and they'll sort of see the motivations of each character. Maybe not so much about the villain, because it's just the rehashing of like this superhero villain. I don't like this planet. I want to destroy this planet. I want to turn it into my planet.
I don't feel attached to the villain.
The villain is not well done.
Correct.
It's like Apocalypse again.
We've seen this in the Marvel Universe with Loki. We've seen it in Transformers with, Cybertron coming to Earth, and
Loki was a good villain.
But he was a good villain. But
not Loki.
But it was not him. It was Thanos who was sending the Chitauri and Okay. Loki was just the playmaker.
Yes.
So Justice League 2017, I think, as what you said, Del, they tried.
It's an awkward movie.
It's an awkward movie. But if you ask me, I will give this movie a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 batarangs.
I'll give this 5.5.
5.5.
5.5 awkward Flash poses.
Okay.
For me, 6.8 lightning bolts from Flash.
6.8 lightning bolts from Flash. Okay, so overall, it's a bit
pass.
It's a pass.
It's a bit above a passing score.
You watch the movie, watch it once, and then forget about it.
I think that it's a movie that you go and pay to see, and you will enjoy. You'll have some laughs. You'll maybe won't buy some of the character motivations, but overall, it's okay. It's a good time, I guess. And the runtime of 2 hours, it's a breath of fresh air for something from the DCEU. It's not a 2 hour 45-minute montage of moody shots and unbalanced battles. So that's the Wayang Crew.
It's late.
That's our review of the Justice League 2017.
Nice one.
Thank you very much, TV.
And just before we go into the next part of this podcast, I just want to bring up that we were at Progressive on Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Those who have caught us, thank you. And those who have written in, thank you as well. But to one particular listener out there who wrote in a very nice note about the Wayang Crew, and also about
the real show.
No, not the real show, but my blog.
Come on, don't try and sugarcoat this. It was a love letter, Del.
No,
it was Del's fan.
No, just he's a nice listener who gave us some encouraging words. So it was a very nice gesture, and I really appreciated it. So if you are listening out there, I believe your name is Ayman. Send us an email, and then we'll give you something, a gift.
This is from Del to you.
Don't put it that way.
A personalized gift from Del.
Don't put it that way. It's something along the lines of like movie tickets or something.
Right. That's a clue. With you.
Don't make it awkward.
It's getting awkward now.
Don't make it awkward like Justice League.
All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us here on the Wayang Crew, you can do so via our Gmail account. That's thewayangcrew@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter. And on this very special episode, we'd like to kick off another contest of sorts where we get the best comments on any of our social media feeds about Justice League. Funniest comment maybe might win a prize. We have 6 keychains which have been given to us by our sponsor. That's Times Cineplex. So do get in touch with us and tell us what you think of Justice League 2017. Now we're going to move on to the next bit of the show, which is...
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看? Apa liat-liat?
Apa liat-liat?
那看什么看？
Apa liat-liat? See what see? 笑了.
Yep, it's called Apa Liat Liat, which is essentially what else we've been watching besides Justice League this week. We're going to start off this week with Tibi. Tibi,
Yeah.
Apa Liat Liat?
I watched Dragon Ball Z.
Whoa, hold the phone. You actually watched something this week?
Yes, I did.
Whoa.
It popped out on my YouTube, so I had to watch it.
Okay,
Plus,
okay.
I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan.
I did not know that.
From my Funko Pops.
Ah,
Yeah, I do collect
Right.
a lot of Dragon Balls.
okay. What about Dragon Ball?
This Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope, it's made from fans.
Ah, okay.
They started out just showing like a 5-minute video, and then a Patreon or something,
Yeah.
like one of those sponsored, like
like
Fund Me or something.
GoFundMe
Yeah,
pages.
and then they finally made a full feature short film, which is 35 minutes, and made by fans, and it took them 2-3 years.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because the first video was made like a few years ago, so now they actually made the 35-minute, and it wasn't disappointing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's live action, right?
Yes, it's a lot better than Dragon Ball Evolution. a lot better.
You do know about these
there is-
these GoFundMe pages. There was, I think last year, there was a fan film of Power Rangers that came out. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. The
Like,
bloody
it
one.
was really dark. and-
That was so cool.
Power Rangers.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else
No,
this week?
but since it's Wednesday, so that's the only thing I caught.
I have to say, Dragon Ball Evolution, was it?
Yeah,
It's the worst
the worst
movie Hollywood has ever made.
Ever.
You know how bad it was? The director, a year later after the movie was released, apologized to the fan. He said, I never actually watched Dragon Ball anime. He publicly said it.
No. You don't have to watch the source material.
Yeah.
You just have to do a good movie.
That's also true. I mean, he made Kamehameha to revive someone. There's no such thing.
No, so who produced this movie?
I'm not
It's
sure.
crazy. How does it get greenlit?
No.
Why have I not watched this? Should I watch it just
Yeah.
for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Chow
I
Yun
guess
Fat.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, now I'm angry. Now I'm angry thinking about.
You're welcome.
They made Goku into an emo
Yeah.
guy who he's never emo. He's like childish, jumps around here and there.
Yeah.
He's witty. Like this guy is like emo.
All right.
Oh,
Anyways,
gosh.
yeah, moving on.
Okay, moving on to Dell. What have you been watching?
I saw some movies that came out earlier in the year. I think it's this year. And one is called The Gifted, starring Chris Evans.
Captain America.
Captain America.
Who's the
Adopted... uncle who
of-
adopted
of a gifted child.
Yes. It is very touching. It is very heartfelt. And it's about this father or uncle...
father
figure.
Yeah.
about to lose this kid. And why it's so good is because this kid, McKenna Grace, is such a great actress. And she really commands the screen and pulls your attention in and gives a very, very emotional performance. So she's better than Chris Evans in this
Whoa.
movie. Yeah.
I have not watched it.
Is
and-
it a
and-
tearjerker?
I didn't cry.
Okay.
I didn't want to cry, but it's still emotional.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one I've just watched is called How to Be a Latin Lover.
I
Saw the trailer?
I saw trailers for this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's just that in the end they try to do this like a big learning experience for this guy. You know, learning how to love a person and let love in and care for somebody instead of himself.
Okay.
So I thought that part felt a little bit flat because it's kind of cliche and generic. But leading up to the third act, I thought everything was quite funny and entertaining. So yeah, can check this out. This one I kind of like as well.
Okay. I think I saw it, but I didn't bother watching it. Going on your recommendations, I will check them out. Moving on to me, and surprise, surprise, I have not watched anything this week.
You're not even trying.
I've been so busy.
He's going to go to
and,
vacation.
and I'm going on a trip, and
that's no excuse to slack off.
I'm not slacking off.
He's going to Upper Liat Liat something else.
On the plane there.
I'm going to Liat Liat a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for this week on the show. Once again, I'd like to congratulate our winner from last week's quiz, which is NK9698. Once again, a reminder to DM us on Instagram. We'll need to get in touch with you to give you your prize. And special thanks to our sponsors this week, which is Times Cineplex. We have more goodies to give out on the next show or the next show. We'll see when we give these out. And yeah, we're gonna have a little comment contest going on. We're talking about Justice League this week, so we would like our listeners to either post on our Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or even send us an email and tell us what you thought of Justice League. And top comment / funniest comment wins a very special prize, which we'll be deciding and giving out on the next episode of the Wayang Crew Podcast. All right. So special thanks to my co-hosts. It's Del and Timmy from us here at the Wayang Crew signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2.
Batman and Robin. I would want to watch a Robin movie.
Okay.
Robin's dead.
Yeah, but
Nightwing. I watched Nightwing. Oh, okay.
Dick Grayson. Okay.